Good morning, everybody. It is as beautiful. Those are the night herons that like to watch the sunrise, just like people do. I'm making you drunk. Sorry. I hope everybody is doing very well. Um, you can see a lot of the fish are hitting around the pier. You see, if you look really close, you can see one, two, looks like there's 3 night herons on that pier. Let me put it down on the railing so it's not moving and maybe you can see them. These are the coolest birds because they love the sunrise and the sunset as much as we do. They generally, I think it's probably the same 3 that usually sit right down there on my fence. But as you can see, the neighbors are undergoing renovations, and I'm not happy about it. They have cleared out the privacy fencing. They cleared out the privacy fencing around the pool, which is right next to our little outdoor kitchen. And that leaves it wide open, so when I come out here and sit in the middle of the night, if they want to see me, they'll be able to see me, and I don't care. I'm not going to change my lifestyle. But they, you know, here's a question. Let me show you. Look, I'm asking a question. Okay. Who buys, you spend $1 million, literally $1 million to buy a property so that you can be on the ocean, and then you don't want to look at it? What is that about? They are literally blocking the ocean view. So they planted all of these trees. Now, it's an illusion on the camera. Let me explain to you how tall these plants are. If I go down there and stand beside those plants, the plants are taller than I am, right? And I'm like 5'5", 5'4". The reason that I know that it will block the plants are taller is because the workers are down there working and the plants are taller than them. And I'm talking about 7 or 8 grown men, and those plants are taller. Also, you see the big mounds of dirt? They're building like a structure, like a house or something. So, is this passive aggressive? Is this someone who didn't, like the wife did not want to buy that house and the husband did, and now she's in the process of destroying it? Don't know. Interesting thought. But I'm glad, you see right there, they've planted bushes all along that fence, which I'm glad of because it gives more privacy. But they opened up the area around the pool. So you can, what's going to be happening in that yard is all I got to know. Oh, weird, right? People are strange, and they all have their own ideas about the way they want to live life and what they want to do. And it's not my $1 million property, so they could do what they wanted to do. The only thing that would really like completely make me angry is if they built like a 2-story structure out there right by the water. And if they do that, guess what's going to happen the first hurricane that comes along? Because we get storm surge. If you look, you see where that rose bush is? You see the concrete blocks that are down. See the concrete blocks that are down at the bulkhead? The last hurricane that we had, which was small, it was a category 1, close to a 2, right? When we got up in the morning, though, a lot of those concrete blocks were literally up on this side of that rose bush, meaning the water, if you'd been able to see out during the hurricane, it would have looked like ocean where that rose bush was. That's why the palm tree that used to be there is gone, because the ocean took it, washed it away. So that is the most ridiculous. See these people over here? They said, see their pretty house? They said that they got sick and tired of storm surge. You can see it's right there in the little crook. So they were getting double the storm surge. Like their house, the bottom of their house was completely wet, full of water every time. So they got sick of it. They literally lifted their yard and their house so that they wouldn't be dealing with the storm surge. So if the storm surge, when we have our lot, we have seaboard to the left and to the right, which helps minimize the level of surge that you get. Whereas this one down in the corner it just bottles up and spills over into the street and into their yard. If we get storm surge all the way up to the rose bush, what do you think's going to happen over there in their cute little area that they got going on? But I'm good. It's not my property, not my circus, not my monkeys. I was very upset because we had tons of palm trees here. I mean, when we moved in here, I bet there were 10, 12 palm trees. And the storms, the ice storms, we had 2 or 3 years in a row where we were getting really bad ice storms and killed all those palm trees. And the reason the palm trees matter is because where I live, we have an indigenous parrot population. It's not very many places in the United States that has real parrots that are wild. And so the parrots eat from those palm trees, right? And there's very few of them left since about 5 years ago when we had that run of winter storms that wiped them all out. Well, this yard over here, they had one living palm tree left. And the reason that it survived is because the owners worked to keep it alive. They hooked up lights, like spotlights. They kept the lights shining up on it the whole storm. The lights were directly hooked to the generator. They worked their butts off to keep that palm tree alive. They had it wrapped in quilts. I mean, it was unbelievable, and it survived. And the parrots come and eat there, and they cut it down. It's people that just bought this house literally cut this tree down, that the people worked for 2 nights, stayed up all night long, keeping the silly thing alive for the parrots. It's incredible. It's incredible. Like, I'm beside myself, and I'm not gonna, the Karen part of me was like, don't cut that tree. I didn't say a word. I just sat and kept my eyes shut. And I looked at Bill, my husband, and I said, well, I guess we need to plant some palm trees. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to plant some palm trees. Who does that, y'all? Those palm trees, the size of that tree, look, the fish are feeding. The size of that tree, it would be like a $30,000 tree. And they just cut it down. And then planted this ugly crap right here. It's unbelievable. It's gonna show you the fish feeding. Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it? Did you see that one? There he is. So I'll tell you what you're looking at. You're looking at a big fish that's chasing a little fish, and the little fish jumps out of the water to try to get away from the big fish. Sometimes you can see them. Damn it, I hear him. There's one. Man, there's something big out there hungry. That one didn't make it. He got eat. Let me widen it a little bit more. There's some feeding over there. Yeah, there's something really big out there fishing. You see how many are jumping? Oh, it's a huge dragonfly I tried to show you. I need to go grab my husband, tell him to get out there with a fishing pole. It's probably a big old redfish. Y'all see them? Something big out there that's fishing. It's got all the little fish scared. All right. As far as Brian Koberger, you got to understand something. Uh, People are kind of freaking out about Nancy Grace. I don't know. Did she lie or speculate or did something wrong? Um, Actually, she is saying that, well, okay, let me be more specific. The prosecutor, the guy that took the plea deal from Brian Koberger, he is saying that they have evidence that Brian Koberger not only went into the house the night that he was lying in wait, that he went into the house when no one was there, but in order to accomplish that, he would have had to have been going into the house, that he would have been there multiple times through the years, befriending the dog, getting the dog to where the dog would be accepting of having him there. Um, that there were multiple incidents where the girls would come home and things would be out of place or missing. And we also know that Koberger used video camera installment to spy on other women like his coworkers. He took the IDs of his coworkers. He, he, he is a hunter. He is a predator. He would look at multiple potential prey and then he would stalk them and set them up. And he is voyeuristic. He is a sincere sick puppy. All right. There's not many of them ever born. I don't mean alive today. I mean ever in existence. He's the worst of the worst. And so the prosecutor has come out and talked about that, how chilling and fearsome the whole process of what he did to the, not just the 4 girls. There's a bunch of fish out there. I don't know if you can see them. What he did to the 4 girls that, or the 3 girls and Ethan that were murdered, but what he did to so many, not just the named 4 that were killed, but there were many, many, many prey that Koberger was after. That just makes me stand by my original, shoot, we missed a big one right there. That just makes me stand by my original assertion that he's killed before. There's no doubt in my mind, none whatsoever. he's killed before. And I did highlight the death of this one young lady about an hour away from where he was going to school, who was a perfect match for for Kaylee and Maddie. I think I think that all of the cops need to start looking at the missing girl cases or the unsolved crimes where the victims are similar in appearance, because it looks like he kept going after the same girl. You know what I mean? Like a Ted Bundy-esque type of situation. You see the herons watching the sunrise. As soon as the sun goes up is up, they'll go home and nest for the day. As far as Koberger appealing his conviction, he can appeal it, but you know what? That is a violation of his plea deal. They can use every bit of evidence they've ever collected. There'll be no restrictions on evidence whatsoever. And he's admitted to doing it. So, how does that help him exactly? Even if he appeals, which he can, even though I know that the plea deal says, no appeals, the Supreme Court in, I think, 2019 or 2020 said, nope, everyone's entitled to an appeal. He can do that. Even if he thinks I have no chance of winning, he still has a right to make that appeal. So if he wants to appeal, fine, let him. He'll for sure get the death penalty at that point. But I do think people don't want to give the story up. They don't want to let it go because I think it's been money. I think it's been a cash cow case. And a lot of people have been able to make a lot of money with it. And they don't want to let it go. They don't want to let the story go. They don't want to let the easy money go. And they don't want to have to get into another case and learn all of the facts and develop information. They don't want to do that. It's a lot of work. When you have a case like Koberger's or Lori Vallow, you just grow with it, and you know the intimate details better than anyone else does, including the people that make the documentaries. They get so much wrong. Lord, that dogs are having a fight somewhere. Anyway, there'll still be people talking about Koberger. Look, there were friendships formed around that case. There were people talking about the case that every single night they would rush home from work if they work. They rush home from work and eat their dinner and watch their friends talk about Koberger, right? But I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever. Man, look at the fishing out there. There's a big one. See him? He just about... I lost him. He must have gone deep. There he is. Right behind the palm tree. There's one right there. See him behind that. That little fish just died. National Geographic in my backyard. So anyway, I wish I knew what was out there feeding like that. We had a shark come through here the other day. So sinister looking. Good morning, world. It's waking up. You guys just don't know how beautiful it is here. Something's right there. I wish one of them would jump up out of the water so we could see what it is. That fisherman is missing the spot this morning. Here's some over here hitting. Why are you fussing at me? Say good morning to the folks. Say good morning. What? Say good morning. Oh, ooh, ooh. You're so cute. You're so cute. You're waking up the neighborhood. Hush. You're a scourge on the neighborhood, girl. Look at the purple. Wow. Uh-oh. I hear my husband yelling at someone. I'm glad he's not yelling at me. No, he doesn't yell at me. Yikes. Someone pissed him off. I hope y'all can't hear him. He's obviously on the phone with someone at work. Somebody just made a problem, it sounds like. Why are you crying, silly dog? Quit. No. Is Timmy in the well? Timmy in the well? No, you stop barking. That's not nice. Stop. You just be quiet, okay? We're trying to enjoy a peaceful sunrise, and you're not letting us because you're barking. I'll tell you what she wants. She wants the cat food. Is that what you want, Sage? Sage, can you say please? Sage, say please. Oh, she says please so good. She's a good puppy. Yeah. I love you so much, Sandra. I love you so much, Sandra. clouds are baby blue. So pretty. Next door neighbors are getting ready to go out and go fishing. They've missed out. All the big fish are going to have full tummies. They're doing some serious feeding this morning. It's not the dolphin feeding because they come up out of the water. They breach the water. It's probably like a redfish or something out there. It's probably one or two big fish. Look how pretty the sparkles are. Uh-oh, I have a low battery. I'm about to lose my my battery, but we did get the sun up. All right. Foodie Beauty is continuing to shock the entire globe with her antics. See him? See that night heron? He's watching the sun. It's almost time for them to fly away. Loads of dragonflies this morning. It's a really beautiful day. We'll be Disney beesing in a few weeks. Sorry about that truck. Hopefully it'll turn off here soon. So another heron just flew in. You missed the sunrise there, buddy. You know that old saying about the early bird gets the worm, eh? You missed out. No more worms left. All your friends got the worms. I hear a hawk. There he is. See the hawk? Oh, we just missed a fish jumped way out of the water. He's still running. I'm afraid you're done for, buddy. The big fish is still swimming. I can see him. See him right there? I believe that little fella did get away. You're not a very good fisherman, are you, big guy? bum, bum, dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. Shine on me, sunshine, walk with me, world, it's a zippity doo da day. Gorgeous morning, people. It's a great day to live your life with no anger. It's a great day to live your life with no anger and no cussing and no assaulting others. Don't assault others, okay? It's not okay. You may not get as many views if you stop assaulting people. There's a big old fish. Run for your life. I think they just got him. Sorry, little fella. Man, something is out there hungrier than hell this morning. Lots of birds coming by. I told you where they're going. They're going down to the wharf where the shrimp boats bring in their shrimp. Not just shrimp, there's fish too. And we're about to have lots of birds this morning. Look against the sunshine, that's pretty. Oyster boats are going to be out there pretty soon too. We have a big reef out there that is loaded with oysters. In fact, this area is famous for the oysters. And they have built some hotshot chef, New York City chef, came down here, built a nice, I say nice, 5-star, like a Michelin 3-star restaurant down here that is all oyster and shrimp mostly. And you can't get reservations. Like the reservations are months in advance, but all the people are coming from Houston to come down here and eat at this swanky frou-frou restaurant, sit in the middle of all of us common folk. Lot of us common folk are not very happy about the invasion of our little piece of heaven. Like these people are invading my heaven. Like, what are they doing? Who buys $1 million property and covers up the view? Now, they're not covering up my view. I can see just fine. And as long as their little structure is a 1-story, it's not going to mess my view up. But imagine being in the backyard, like at the pool. Wouldn't you want to be able to look out over the big water when you're sitting by the pool? Weird, right? So I'm skeptical of the type of person that would do that. Like, who are these people? Why would you spend $1 million on the water and then hide the water? These are the things that I want to know. So get ready. We may have to come up with a new, we have a lot of palm trees. See back over here. We have a lot of palm trees to the side and around the front they've got a lot of palm trees going down that way. So we still have food for the parrots, but it was shocking that you sit and watch someone work with dedication and love to keep that enormous old palm tree alive, and then you just come in and just cut it down. Just, oh, look on my pier. Hey, fella. Hey, fella. They got your fence all messed up, don't they, friend? I'm sorry. They usually sit down there on that fence and watch the sun. It's got them all discombobulated, I guess. That's all right. You can sit on my pier. You're welcome here. There's a big fish over here. Let's see if he hits. No, that looked like he did. Flew right over me. He wanted to be YouTube famous, didn't he? He said, make me YouTube famous. Anyway, Foodie Beauty is in another pickle. She is sitting in a hotel room in Doha, Qatar. Everybody said, you are not in Syria. And she said, oh, yes, I am. I am in a Syrian hotel. And everybody said, you're not in Syria. And she was revealed to be where? Qatar, of all places. Now, there is a direct flight from Damascus to Qatar, to Doha. Her hotel is about 8 minutes away from the airport in Doha. And it was a $200 direct flight. And she could, in fact, get on an airplane from Doha to Canada, and that is around a $1,500, $1,800 flight, round trip flight. So one way, probably $1,200. And I still stand by what I say. I think Salah told her, you can't live here, because if you live here, we don't have your income anymore, and we need your income. And so you must leave and work. And that's what she's done. She is now in a hotel room, sick as a dog, eating enough food to kill a horse. And yet she's going live every day. Yesterday, she did a 5-hour live where she literally looks like she needs to be in the hospital. She looks that ill. And what did she do that 5 hours? She ate. So, Foodie, Chantal, Miriam, I'm going to say it again, sister. Please let your instincts for self-preservation kick in. Please find some acceptance that this man does not have your best interest at heart. Please go home to the people that love you, that will value you and help you and care for you while you get your health back in order. If you just took off 10% of your body weight, your health would improve dramatically, and so would your mood. Salah is not your path to happiness. If he was, after 3 years living with him, you would be happy. And you are so far from happiness. In fact, when you were still in Kuwait, you guys were not hardly even talking. We went weeks on end where you were angry with him because he would not go out with you. He would not ride around in the car with you. He would not do live streaming with you. Go home. I don't mean go home because there's no other place. I've traveled the world. I know what it's like to live in other countries. I know it's exciting to visit. But at this point, you haven't left that hotel room that you've been in for days. You, you need your nest. You need to go home to your nest where you can heal. And then once you're healed, then build your channel based on traveling. I think that'd be something that you would absolutely love to do a real travel channel and get away from looking for salvation in a man. A man is not going to offer you salvation. You see that big old bulldog out there? He sees something out there. What were you after there, buddy? They have that dog you're looking at right there. He's like a grand champion dog winner. That actually may be the mother dog. They got a bunch of them over there, but they breed these like high dollar. I think that's the mom. Or maybe one of the puppies. Maybe that's one of the puppies. I had a time or two in my life where I went home to the nest. You know what I mean? I think it's normal. I think what is not normal, I think it's really a rare thing for people, young people, I mean, to make a decision and then go for it and it not need to be modified. And I think most young people make decisions and it doesn't work out, and that's okay. You fix it and you make better decisions. But to do that, you need a safe nest. You need a place to go and lick your wounds and get strong again, you know. I think it's I think there is little doubt life has a way of kind of getting our attention when we're on the wrong path. And I think the wisest of us listen when life is tapping you on your shoulder and saying this is not your place, this is not your path. It's wise to listen to that, Chantal. When Mother Nature's tapping you and saying, hey, I'm not going to scream this at you. I'm just going to whisper it into your ear. You may be on the wrong path, sweetheart. Maybe you should listen. And all of this romanticized, but he's my family. Um, do you feel like he's improved your life? There's worse things than being alone, you know, really and truly. I wish I could zoom in a bit more. I am soon going to Disney World. No, Bill will not be traveling to Disney World. Believe it or not, Disney World is not his favorite place on the planet. He has a hoodie and a couple of t-shirts that are grumpy, and and he also has a cap that is grumpy because it's not the happiest place in the world. You see the end of that pier out there? That is Bill's Disney World, okay? um, but he goes because his wife and his children love Disney World. But he will not be going on this trip. This is a trip where my son and his wife are taking the two mothers to Disney World, which is going to be great. It's going to be funny as hell to have two little old ladies and then my son and my daughter-in-law trying to keep everything in order. But I have ordered some stuff so that I can go live on the phone. I ordered a handheld stick that actually has like a gimbal. So as I'm walking through the parks recording, the phone's not going to be doing this right here, right? It'll be nice and smooth, and you guys will be able to see the sights. And we've got some amazing dinner. We're going brand new fancy restaurant in Epcot that is part of the Guardians of the Galaxy complex. So it's like the whole dining experience. You have to get into like a spaceship and go up into outer space, and then the restaurant is in outer space, right? So, so we've got a great reservation there, and I'll be recording that, and then we will be having dinner with the princesses in the castle. Cinderella. It's the only place that you can have that character. What is it? Character dining. It's the only place you can see Cinderella other than the parades is if you have a reservation in the castle. So we'll be eating dinner in the castle, and then we'll watch the parade from the balcony of the castle. So I'll be recording that. And we have Be My Guest reservations. And in all truth, now I've never eaten at Space 220, so, but up until Space 220, the best place to eat at Disney World is Be My Guest. The food is outrageous. It is so delicious. So we have that reservation. What else? We're gonna do the Mickey Not So Very Scary Halloween. One night at Magic Kingdom, and then one night at I think is it MGM? I think it's MGM. And then I've got like an extra day where I'm going. The others are not. I'm going over to the Animal Kingdom and doing a special excursion where you get to go out and feed the animals. So I'll actually be out around the giraffes, and so that should be a lot of fun. It's an all-day thing, and it's like an educational experience, but should be tons of fun. So I'm not going to handicap myself with the camera the whole way, but I'll try to be mindful and get those video clips, and I'll go live too. I'll probably go live when I'm in the Magic Kingdom, because Main Street USA is such a cute place to go live from. So I'll go live from the Main Street USA and where else? Oh, probably Avatar. I'll do a live definitely while I'm in the line at Avatar, because the decoration, the experience of just standing in the line is like a ride all its own. The the decorations, the design is insane. And then the other stuff, I'll just try to get some pictures and some little video clips and then weave it all together into a couple of edited videos that I can upload. And so that is the way it's going to go. And I want you guys to know that about 15 years ago, is that right? How old am I? 60, 40? No, it's actually been around 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I stood with my 9-year-old son and my little niece, my brother's daughter, who's a couple of years older than my son. We stood in the middle of Magic Kingdom watching a parade, and it was so hot that the asphalt was burning through our tennis shoes. And these two kids were saying, "Can we please go back to the hotel, Aunt Karen or Mom?" And I said, "You know what? I think that is an outstanding idea." We left and spent the rest of the day in the swimming pool. And I said then, I am never going back to Disney World in the summer. Never. And I told my son when he said, "Well, Mom, we're going to take y'all to Disney World." I said, "When?" And he said, "End of August." And I said, "Honey, I have made a vow 20 years ago to never again go to Disney World in the middle of the summer. You are going to make me break that vow." He said, "I know, but this is the only time we can go." And I said, "Okay, I'll go." So I'm breaking my vow. But you know what he got me for my birthday? He's such a good kid. I love my son so much. He's a great guy. For my birthday, they got me no, maybe it was Mother's Day. They got me an air conditioner that hangs around your neck, literally. It's a little air conditioner that hangs around your neck, and then these refueling rods. So at the at Disney World, they have kiosks where you trade your depleted fuel rod in, and then they give you new ones that are completely charged. So I've got fuel rods for my air conditioner that hangs around my neck. Now, this is not it's not a fan. It actually cools the air. So, so I said, "Thank you for that." Look, here's the worker. Look. Look. Where is he at? Here he is. You see him? Look how tall those plants are. Y'all thought I was lying, didn't you? Look, you can't even see the dude. Look at there. Wow. Yeah, they're blocking the view of the ocean. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, I'll tell you what Sage is trying to do. Oh, Drover interrupted her. You see that cat food? She's gonna get up on that chair and then get over to the cat food. You cannot eat that cat food. No. Hey, Drover. Hey, buddy. How are you this morning? Are you hot? Huh? Are you hot? So Drover is a very old dog. And so he spends the day in the house. He sleeps outside when it's nice and cool. And then he spends the whole day in the air conditioning sleeping. I'm watching you, sister. I know what you're up to. You're not going to do that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. No, that's Felix's food. That's not Sage's food. Sage has her own food. Okay? Anyway, I'm super stoked about the Disney World trip. and will I told my son, I said, here's what I'm willing to do. I'll get up super early. We'll be there at when they drop the gate, when they open up to let you in. We'll go ride in the morning and go have fun in the morning. And at around 12 o'clock, this chick, I'm going back to the hotel. I'm going to go back to the hotel, maybe swim. Maybe the place the hotel I'm staying at has got one of the lagoon pools and waterfalls, and it's really, luxurious, I guess. So I'll probably go out to the pool for a few hours, and then go back to the hotel, maybe even take a nap, because then I'll go back out to the parks. I'll meet up with them at around 4, after it's cool, after the heat of the day is kind of cooled down a little bit. Then we'll stay out until the park closes. So, which some nights it'll be like 1 a.m. So I'm gonna nap during the day, go swimming, watch TV, YouTube, when it is super hot. And that I'm not gonna stay at the park and make myself sick. I'm not gonna do that. And I suspect the other grandma is not gonna do that either, because she is much older than I am. So